exactly.
Let me tell you about
Yeah.
this.
Yep.
All right, I'm rolling it in, fellas. Woo! Welcome to Almost a Podcast. I'm your new host, Colton. New for this week. And I'm
The new
joined
old
by my
host.
co-hosts, Sean and Michael.
What's up?
That's me.
That's you guys. How's everyone doing? I am feeling amazing today.
Yeah,
you know
why
why?
are you feeling amazing?
Because I finished a new anime, guys. We're not an anime
You
podcast,
actually finished an anime.
but I did finish
You finished
a new
an anime in a day, and I was kind of shocked, honestly.
It was honestly, I had a lot to do, but I didn't do what I had to do. I just watched this show because you guys have been dying for me to watch it, and it's called My Dress Up Darling. So anyone who's not in the anime community, it sounds like a very interesting show. It sounds like a very anime-esque title, right? But it's quite good. It's just about a relationship, about a girl who's like, I guess, just a cool chick, and another dude who's like very reserved, and they bond over anime cosplay and stuff like that. That's basically the premise. Would you guys agree? In a very simplistic form.
I would agree with that.
It's
description.
really popular in the community right now, and I've been wanting to watch it because everyone's in love with the what do you call it? Not the protagonist, but the girl that
The heroine.
is like the heroine, I guess, even though she's not really.
She'd be the protagonist.
She's like another.
Gojo is
She's
the
like the
protagonist.
female protagonist, and there's a male protagonist that they kind of just go together. But yeah, everyone's obsessed with her. She's in a bunch of memes in the community, and I had to watch it, and I kind of got hooked over the course of watching it.
Wasn't episode 12 on the OLED?
Oh,
Awesome.
dude, yeah. So
You know the scene I'm talking about?
yeah, Sean was texting me. I was texting both these guys as I was watching it, and Sean was telling me, dude, like once you get to episode 12, it's gonna be amazing on the OLED. And yeah, it was like there's like a big fireworks scene, and it's just spectacular. It's really, really good.
It's real good.
But yeah, it was. I had a very interesting take on it, as I told you guys. But did you guys like fall in love with the show immediately?
Well,
I really liked it right away. I think
Okay.
first episode, I
Yeah.
was like, heck yeah, this is a good show. But
I
I'm kind of a sucker for those types of shows, so
Yeah.
I didn't really like the protagonist starting off. I complained to Sean.
it's a bit of a wet
because
blanket.
obviously Sean and I had kind of some offline discussions here about it because we were watching the show like week by week as it was airing, whereas keeping Colton out of the loop that way we don't spoil anything on it. But I just did not like Gojo as a protagonist. There are some moments where I'm like, dude, just like be more confident in yourself, or moments where he was just so like weak-willed. It almost
cringe.
hurt. It almost hurt to watch.
You told me it was cringe, and it was like, I definitely got that at the beginning. I mean, it was like super cringe in a way. I thought, like, especially episode 2, where of course, you meet this guy. It's the second time you're gonna like see him, and of course you strip down to your bathing suit to have him take measurements on your body, because that's just what we do, right?
That's what you do.
Yeah.
That's just how it happens. That's what needs to happen. But yeah, he handled that pretty poorly. I guess that's maybe part of the charm of his character. But yeah, he does that. But after that, once they actually like delve into the more relationship side of their development, instead of it just kind of being more fan servicey, I really, really enjoyed it, and their progression was good. So
yeah,
yeah,
episode
8 out of
11
10.
was pretty great.
Episode
I just
11.
feel like I like sympathize. I don't know what the right word is, empathize or sympathize. Because empathy is like you understand. Wait, sympathize. Oh shoot!
Empathy
Yeah.
is like where you've been in the same situation before, so you understand the similar feelings. Where sympathy is like you haven't been in this situation, but you still are like somewhat.
You like feel
empathetic.
bad for them.
Yeah,
still.
feel bad for them.
Yeah,
It's like,
Yeah. So I feel like in general, I do that with almost every character. Like I really like get into a character's mindset
yeah.
in the sense where I like try and put myself in their position in most things, which I think is why I have so much. I like content like this a lot, or
Right.
like just in general, like Marvel movies, anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I like for Gojo, I'm like, this dude was ridiculed as a kid and then never had friends his basic up until like end of high school or whatever they're in.
Yeah, he's like very feels very isolated, very outcast.
So to me, him not being able to like talk at all to anybody makes total sense.
yeah,
yeah.
Or like have any sort of normal thought process or emotion. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
These guys love to do one thing, and then he was ridiculed for it by his like sister, cousin. I don't know who that was.
Some girl.
And
yeah.
then was like, well, I guess I'm not going to talk
Guess
to
I'll
anybody ever
die.
again. And that like lasted for like 10 years.
Yeah, and just
Yeah.
went like solely focused. But then, obviously he meets Marin, and like they, he can use the skills that he created, worked on over those 10 years to actually like help her out and do something cool.
Yeah, in like a weird like shift. But see, what I thought was kind of cool about the series is he still obviously he could be like the premier cosplay designer, right? But at the end, he's like, I still want to make dolls, dude. It's like,
Yeah.
he's staying true.
He has a goal that he's trying to go towards. He'll probably, I don't know I know the show or the series is much longer than this season we got, but I'm sure he might probably do both. I'm assuming he'll do both. Like, probably end up being with Marin and then end up doing the cosplay stuff, and she'll get popular. He'll do that for her, and then he'll do his doll thing, and that'll be a whole.
They'll probably tease it for.
Wouldn't it be a good like ending if because now he's a famous cosplayer or cosplay designer, he brings revitalized life into the doll market,
Yeah.
that he's making.
That'd be great.
That'd be kind of cool.
Or like,
Or maybe
people go to his shop to see the dolls
Yeah.
because he obviously designs the cosplays.
Right. Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe, they'll probably get together in like 10 seasons. It'll take 10 seasons for them to get together knowing anime.
I don't know. I honestly thought they were going to get together at the end of this, and they are together for all
real
intents
close.
and purposes. But I mean, yes, they almost, spoilers for Dress Up Darling from now on throughout the podcast, by the way. I don't want to go too easily. But they almost bang, and that's pretty that's way out here, right? Like they're like just starting to like realize they like each other, and then they get into a situation where they pretty much almost bang.
Damn phone coon, man.
Yeah, that scene was really well done. Just in general, the tension,
absolutely.
Even though you kind of knew
yeah.
it wasn't going to happen, like, oh, of course, something's probably going to happen or whatever. But that was just really well drawn out. I don't really know how to articulate exactly why, but it was done. It was really well done.
There's definitely a lot of tension there. I think that's what.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like well set up tension.
Yeah, it was. See, and this is the thing, because I really don't like how Gojo acts when anything sexual or relationship wise comes up, because it becomes an idiot, right? But this was the one time he doesn't, which is almost one of the big reasons why I think it had a lot of tension. It's like the one time where he was like about to just do it, and
actually make a move.
Make a move.
And
so
obviously they were like both into it too in the situation, which was cool. Like you could just tell by obviously the character's body language, stuff like it's like, all right, they're just like, all right.
I liked how in this anime overall, because I've seen a lot of rom-coms animes essentially, which is this is a rom-com, and this is one of the few where the heroine will like recognizes and knows her feelings way ahead of the guy, and is like mainly from her perspective. That's not something you normally see in a
and she's not a freaking tsundere
in anime,
where she's
she's like
she's like I like him.
Wow. This guy's awesome.
Yeah.
Why do I like him? And then like goes through her own feelings on that.
Like her
That's
internal
super rare.
dialogue where she's like, there's a great one. I think you said it, Sean. It's just like her, just like they just put subs of just like random letters, like someone just like
I love that.
word
That
on
was
the
really
page.
funny.
Yeah, it's like all right, that's understandable. Like I think we've all been there. So
yeah, like the show. Okay, so this is another thing. I thought for the first 3 episodes, when I didn't like the show, it was kind of lacking a little bit of self-awareness of the situation. Like Gojo was crazy, and he admits to himself later that he's like, I'm such a loser, dude. I'm just acting like, an idiot, which he was. But the show became like way more self-aware as time went on, I thought, with all the jokes, one of my favorite scenes that I told you guys about. They're doing the Gojo goes to they go to a shopping mall, and he's like in a dressing room, and this guy's just like sitting there, just looks at Mara, and he's like, dude, this girl's hot as hell. for like no reason. You just like hear this guy's internal monologuing, and I'm like, yeah, that's like
some
what everyone.
like side character, you know.
Yeah, this is like what.
And he's like, why
this
is
is
he
what
with this
everyone's
guy?
thinking.
And then I also love the moment where like you see her face like this, right? Like blank stare, like looking at all of the outfits, right? And you think like, oh my god, like she hates them all. And then her internal dialogue is just like, oh my gosh, she's like so adorable.
You look so awesome.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like I love that scene.
Yeah, that was
cool.
absolutely fantastic. I also like that. Shoot, I just lost the thought.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, you're right. Fuck.
Is it like? Oh, is it about Marin, or is it about the characters?
It's about the characters. Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that other female protagonists came into this show.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, when that happens in a
It's a
rom-com,
harem.
they are other love interests.
Yep.
In this instance, not at all.
I appreciate the groundedness of the guy not needing a harem. I like the keeping it simple. Yeah.
I mean the one other girl, like the smaller one, the smaller but older one, because it's
right.
anime.
The cosplayer, the other cosplayer, I guess.
Yeah, she like kind of. I think there was a scene or two where she's like, well, this guy's pretty cool. But I don't think it ever progressed further than that.
Right. Like she might kind of crush on him a little bit, but the focus on that relationship is obviously not there. Gojo is not reciprocating in any way. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did also remember my thought finally. So it was. Do you remember right after in episode 11, right after like the whole like tense moment,
mm-hmm.
and then like he goes back. Gojo immediately fucking just whacks off and just like he's like has to
that
just
was
jerk
also
off.
so good.
So I was like, okay, realistically, that's 100% what happened. Like it's going to happen.
I mean, exactly. And he's like, there's like points. I love it. He's like, Marin sends him pictures of her in her cosplay, and he's like, yeah, just admits it to the side. It's like, yeah, I definitely wanked off to that.
Yep.
I sent a meme to Michael.
It's hilarious.
I wonder if I can find it and send it to you, Colton. But it's like you see the san there. There's respect there.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, that's right. When he was whacking off, he called her Marin-san, and it's like
Kitagawa-san.
Sorry, yeah, Kitagawa-san. So it's like
Not even using her first name.
yes,
Yeah.
He's like
yeah, I know.
He's jacking off.
I know.
but he respects her. There's respect there. I know exactly.
Oh, I found it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send it to you. Colton.
I'm excited for this meme.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, overall, it was so like, whatchamacallit? It was a very real show.
It was very grounded. Other than the fact that Gojo freaked out at times, I thought.
Yeah.
The girl was extremely grounded, which was like refreshing, which is kind of weird to have just, the girl's grounded and real and just likable as a person. And that's like refreshing.
That's refreshing.
Yeah.
But it was really
A little sad, but
I felt it was just a really grounded show. Their relationship developed kind of organically. Didn't feel super forced most of the time, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the only show I can think of where like characters have like realistic feelings, right? Like,
Yeah.
like they don't like pony around with it, right? Like, dude, was it what's his face gets a boner immediately? He's like,
I know.
when
It's
she's
like,
on
and
top
it's
of
like
him,
of
he's
course
like,
he does.
well,
Yeah.
no shit. Like it's just biology, man. Like
Mhm.
that's what's gonna happen. So yeah,
There are a lot of good rom-coms that do, realistic feelings like that, but I shouldn't say a lot, but they're definitely out there. They're just not as well known, I think.
Yeah. Like this one really exploded. But yeah, there's probably other stuff.
I think
out there.
weirdly enough, I've seen probably the most rom-coms of us three.
Probably.
I think it's accurate. Yeah, we've all seen most anime, so like no surprise.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, on a separate note, I've been really enjoying just maybe not just the rom-com, but the slice of life anime in general. Just whatever.
Slice of Life is awesome.
Anything that's like a normal situation that takes place in modern day Tokyo. Just because sometimes when I was watching this show, I was just seeing them go they went by Hachiko, and I'm like, oh, that reminds me of when I went to Japan.
Yeah.
And it's like weird because it brings back nostalgia for me, even though it's like it's animated.
There's
That
a
was
lot
weird.
of good, like, especially in slice of lives or movies that are slice of life. There's so many good shots that are like, wow, that's Japan, or
Yeah.
like, wow, I've been to that street,
Right.
or a street like that,
Yep.
and it's super cool to see how they animate
Yeah, not only that,
'Cause it looks so similar.
the food. Whenever they do food in anime, it's like they put all the budget into like that bowl of ramen, and it looks absolutely delectable. I'm
It
like,
looks so good.
I want to eat that now.
I
Yeah.
love it. Dress Up Darling that Marin can't cook at all. Like she makes the worst food.
She cooked well. Her food was good, but she had this big vision of presentation, and it was like shit when she did it. It was hilarious.
No. She like her diet isn't balanced at all.
Well,
That was
her
thing.
diet's like greasy hot. It's like hot dogs and rice or something like that. I forget. It was terrible.
Yeah, something terrible.
Right?
A lot of yeah.
Everyone was so concerned for her.
Yeah, like, are you okay? Are you sure you're
Are
skinny?
you eating enough vegetables?
I wish that like I used to be like that, right? Where I could just like eat whatever the fuck I wanted. I'm skinny. Now it's like, oh gosh, I gotta actually like watch my calories.
Worry about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
These freaking they're like freshmen in high school or something like that.
Yeah,
They don't
so
give a
it'd be-
shit.
So yeah, like for me, like a decade ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
That's
a
crazy.
big
thing.
word.
That's crazy.
It's a big number.
Would it be a decade? No, a little less than a decade.
Not
You started high school a decade ago.
I'm 25. 15 is freshman year of high school.
14 for me.
Yeah, so I
freshman high
started a decade ago.
Yeah. They'll be out of high school
school. Exactly
a
right.
decade soon.
Shoot.
Really
Yeah.
soon. Yeah.
It's nuts, man.
Yeah. But it was a
Still
great
watching anime.
yeah. It was a great show. Overall, yeah. It's worth I think it's worth most people watching. If you just like I don't know, anime in general.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not something I would show Carly.
It actually had really good animation.
It did. It was amazing. Yeah, it was fantastic.
One of the memes that was coming out at the time, but Marin's facial expressions were uncountable.
They were super good.
Incalculable. I don't know. They're like, there's way more put into the faces of these people than goes into most shows.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not
Yeah,
just
I
lip
agree.
flaps and like mild eye movements. It's like every single expression.
Ba, ba,
Yeah,
ba,
exactly.
ba, ba. It's like you're getting eyebrow movements. Everything.
Yeah, it
It's
feels
like-
very dynamic, the whole thing. Everyone's kind of moving. So yeah, but it was
the last moment at the
at the
fireworks
fire when
festival
she
with
like
the-
oh my god,
that was so
I
funny.
broke. That was really good. It was for the viewers
Because
that
it
are
was
listening.
such a Marin thing to do.
I know. It was like another
So
tense
funny.
scene where it's like they start looking at each other. It's the last episode, so you think it's gonna be this like romantic moment, and she just basically pulls she stays true to her character and like breaks the tension by sticking her tongue out.
Yeah.
Or like something like
was
that.
good. That was a very fun show.
Yeah, it was good.
I hope there's season 2. If not,
Oh, dude, the amount of money
it'll
that
happen.
show makes and the amount of attention it had, I bet there's gonna be a season 2.
I'm sure.
We'll see how-
I don't know how popular it is in Japan. So we'll
That's
see.
very true.
I'm wondering if it is actually that popular because I can see maybe some of the Japanese not actually liking kind of the brashness of Marin. She's very forward, and I don't know if that's
What's the term
idea.
for the people that have those long fingernails
Gyaru?
and the blonde hair?
It's Gyaru.
Yeah, and they're not super. I guess they kind of. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know that much about Japan to know if it's popular
She's
or
one of the
not.
few like Gyaru, like actual like love interests, right? It feels like most of the time it's the tsundere.
I never liked that character actually, and I don't like that character or I don't like that style of fashion in real life.
yeah, in
like,
real life.
I've seen him in real life. I'm like, this is really off-putting.
Very
to me.
ostentatious, yeah.
But in this show, I think it was because of her personality.
Yeah, it
that
kind of fits.
It was different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it fits because she's like really into fashion, but it's more like weeby fashion, which a lot of people watching the show are like, yes, I agree. I'm into this as
Yeah.
well.
So that could be a big plus.
I
for
mean,
the
she's in a
Japan
normal
audience.
fashion too. I mean,
Yeah.
she's a freaking model.
she's an actual model.
Yeah.
That was kind of a surprise.
I was like, oh, okay. So this guy.
it makes sense though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, she is portrayed as being extremely attractive to everyone in the universe too. So,
Yeah.
And
but
she's extremely attractive to everyone outside the universe. I mean, look how much
everyone's like,
she's the best
2D,
girl of
clap,
last season.
clap, 2D. I don't care. She's
Yep.
amazing.
But yeah,
What's next
Yeah.
on the agenda though?
Well, I
for your
had-
show watching.
For show watching, okay, I had another thing I wanted to bring up that's related to dress up. The real reason I brought Dress Up Darling up because
Oh, it was just a segue.
I went to it was just a 25-minute segue. But But okay, so I watched a little bit of the new show this season, the Shikimori's Not a Cutie. Like what? There's 2 episodes out.
Yes, I've now seen both.
And I watched a couple other. I was like just looking at clips of other like shows, like of a romance-esque. And there's
From this season or just in general?
Just in general.
Okay.
I don't know the shows of all the other ones, but there's a big theme going on in all of this. And I don't know, like this may go into, I was like drawing like parallels between all these different ones. And I was
the
like,
guy with the red lines.
yeah,
Well,
I was like getting this, I was just like thinking about it. And I was wondering, like, I was like thinking about Japanese culture as a whole and like what these shows mean. And if it's like, just like pondering it, I guess. But
is there a deeper meaning?
I think it shows a deeper meaning in Japanese culture, but kind of going back to one of the reasons why I didn't like it as much. Well, maybe not a direct reason why I didn't like it as much for the first 3 episodes, but basically Gojo meets Marin completely out of chance, right? And
yes,
it's like if Marin didn't, I don't
that.
know. She got in the first episode, she got thrown and hit her head on his desk or something in the classroom, or I don't know. Something happened. She got thrown.
That's funny.
Yeah, but pretty much in all these shows, it's some weird like chance meeting between the protagonist and the heroine. Usually, it's like in a lot of these shows, it's like the protagonist is really reserved, right? And they're kind of just walking through life, and then one day something happens and their life changes because they meet this one girl or this person, and then their life is changed forever. But I'm like, I don't know. It was just interesting to me because I'm like, is this really popular because of like the culture that watches anime is like really reserved already?
I 100% think it is.
I was like, because like they're watching this and it's like you can. I was guilty of this with Dress Up Darling, where sometimes I would be, what do you call it? Projecting myself onto the character.
Yeah,
that's a word. And so whenever Gojo acted out of character, I was like, oh, like it was like got whiplash or whatever. But where was I going with this? It was just like it's just a common theme that happens in all these shows. And I was like, man, this is like almost a little sad to me when I was thinking about it, because it's a lot of, I feel like a lot of people that the reason that trope is so prominent is that so many people are kind of going through that phase where they're just kind of waiting for something to happen instead of having it, just going out and doing it. Does that make sense? Am I portraying my thoughts here?
I think that's one of the things that just people don't talk about Japan in general, but like the part of the culture that kind of sucks, it's the reason their population is in decline, and there's there's lots of problems with how sometimes Japanese society works,
right?
And especially with the work culture, that everyone's just like, it's this, I don't know how best to describe it, because I'm not an expert on the topic, but it does pander to that group, because people just don't go out and talk to people, and that's
right,
just what happens.
And Gojo himself, I mean, he's so absorbed in his work. Like I'm just thinking, like, if Gojo didn't, like, if Marin wasn't in that exact spot in that exact moment and didn't get like thrown to his desk, he has the chance of like never meeting her, and obviously his whole life changes after he meets her, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, I guess you could make the argument that he also meets her in his sewing machine breaks at home when he's making clothes for his little dolls, and he goes to the school sewing machine when his thing's broken. Then he meets Marin there again because she's going, I'm assuming, to work on her cosplay outfit, so they meet that way.
Yeah.
But, like, that's also weird because it's, like, a totally chance. It's like Gojo's not going out there and trying to make it happen. It's just, like, a complete chance thing that just happens and changes his life. And the same thing with, like, Shikamaru. I guess the protagonist and heroine are dating already. But it's almost like...
Well, that's actually very different, contrary to your point.
Is it? See, I think...
Because a show starting with the protagonist and the heroine already together is extremely rare.
But how
that doesn't happen?
How did they get together? Because you're not telling me the protagonist like went up to Shikimori or whatever. This badass girl was like, yeah, I'm going to make this happen. There's definitely some sort of chance.
Well, knowing him, he probably got hit in the head or something, and then she found him.
And then she was like, turned on. She's like, yeah, I got to protect this kid. And then they start dating, I guess.
Well, I don't know how they met yet, because I'm imagine we're going to get, that's going to be explained at some point.
But like the theme of just the protagonists are kind of walking through life, and then this thing happens to them. It's just was really interesting to me to see this always be the majority circumstance.
Well, that's
in romance
every
anime.
Isekai.
Yeah,
It's
going
a
beyond,
lot of anime.
going beyond.
Kazuma got hit by a truck, or no, it blinked. And, Kazuma hit by
a tractor.
A tractor. And then who's the guy in ReZero? He blinked. Random things.
Yeah,
that's kind of the nature of most anime.
Yeah, you're just kind of going through life, and then some big thing happens that you're not trying to make happen, and it's a lot more.
The only time that's different is in shonen anime.
Yeah,
because the protagonist is constantly going at it.
Yeah, they have a goal and they go after that goal.
Like Goku, his goal has not changed the entire show, which is he wants to be like the strongest person ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and like
he goes for it.
Going at it.
He makes 100%. It happen. Yeah, it's just interesting.
I actually want to talk about Dragon Ball Z at some point.
Okay, we'll loop back to that. But yeah, I was just like, it's kind of depressing. I don't know if this is like for the people, for the guys and gals watching anime who are kind of more like on the reserved side, is that like how they're going through life, just kind of waiting for something to happen? And then I got sad because I felt like that was kind of
sad.
It's like this is like their outlet for real life. Like, oh, like this happened to this guy, and they're happy, and that's kind of their fantasy they can live and project onto Gojo.
Isn't that why most people watch just TV in general or any sort of media? I mean, people watch reality TV shows for, I think, the same reason.
Yeah, and that's true, but like,
I'm not saying this is good or bad. I'm just trying to draw parallels that it's not like that's just a thing that people do. People do this.
Yeah.
People watch media or content to try and envision that they're in a situation that they're not in currently. It's like an escape.
Is that actually
for
though?
A lot of the time?
I think it's an escape, but do you think most people want to project themselves onto a certain character or environment?
I don't know if it's most people. I'm saying this is something people do.
It is, yeah. Some people do, yeah.
And it may not be just projecting. It may be like, for instance, I think reality TV. It's just consuming the drama and the entertainment value of it,
right?
Versus something like I feel like though in this specific case that you're talking about, Colton, like with the rom-coms, it's very projection heavy. I mean, let's be real. A lot of the characters, they're pretty blank slate. Like, you could basically, project yourself onto these characters. Shit, I do the exact same. Like on Gojo, that's part of the reason I was like, because for me, I'm like, I wouldn't be as in like the situations that he would be in. I'd approach them very differently.
That's the thing. I was kind of going into it with the projection in mind for me, and then when he started acting so much differently, that's I guess what I told you guys already. I kind of got whiplash, and then I separated myself from that, which is like weird because I don't usually do that to other media, but anime is. I do it too sometimes, I guess.
Well, there's a concept called herbivore men that I read about. Like in Japan specifically, it's like a nickname for them. And it's basically like they're like passive, that kind of walking through life, and there's kind of like this cultural move almost toward that, like maybe not consciously but subconsciously, where it's like versus very much the difference in the West, which is the guys have to be like they're chasing or being the assertive ones in their usually in the relationship. Or when like going out approaching women, right? It's usually the guys.
And just people in general. In the West, it tends to be more like self-centered is the wrong word. There's a specific word that's like you think more of the self as opposed to more of the community.
Individualistic versus
individualistic. There we go. And that's just something that develops that we're just like we were raised as. It's just the culture.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I
don't know if it's a.
Yeah, but I wonder if you're maybe like on something there, Colton, where people are feeling like they need to wait for that opportunity to fall out of the freaking sky rather than going after it and trying to make that opportunity happen.
Or the sad thing too is like I'm wondering if people are like finding this like hope Like, oh, like it's like maybe they consume it. Maybe that's going a little bit too far, drawing like too much from that. But just having so many
there are
shows,
people that do that. You know?
yeah, that like reinforce that. Because to be completely honest, going back to Dress Up Darling, if Gojo just goes and makes the sewing club or whatever, he meets Marin by default, basically off that point, and then their story still exists, but with the way the story was written, it's kind of up to chance, and it was a very lucky thing that his sewing machine broke. Whereas he could have almost guaranteed that, I guess, guaranteed that relationship.
Yeah.
If he were to be more.
That's still making a lot of assumptions, though.
It is.
Like him just deciding to join the club would be by chance too. It's
But
really like hard to determine.
I know, but it's like he has a passion for it. So him actually, and this is getting into his whole character is like he got a lot of backlash for being really passionate about his.
Well, that's the thing. Like he's not passionate about sewing. He's passionate about
painting
dolls.
Right.
So he wouldn't join the sewing club because there's no that's not their focus. Like if there was a doll club, he probably join it.
I'm just saying if he was more open about his hobbies, which I know this is his whole character development arc thing, is him becoming more open about like himself and with his hobbies and stuff. But if he, like, I guess if you're walking through life and you're not open about hobbies in general, like you can really limit yourself. Like imagine like meeting a girl that is like your Marin and then like not being able to meet her because you just like weren't open, I guess.
I think a lot of this is to interpretation though. Like
yeah.
Like two people can watch this show and get two completely different things out of it. You know,
right?
You can take it as a learning lesson where you say, "Oh man, maybe I should just go out and join the sewing club, blah blah. Do all these things because there might be people there I can meet and have fun with."
Right.
But the other side of the coin is you can take this and see like, well, I could just keep following my single-minded passion and maybe something will happen to me one day like that.
Right. I guess
it was really up to someone's interpretation of what they get out of it.
Yeah, I guess my subjective opinion would be to go with the former path of put yourself out there, but that's guided by how I was raised and my cultural influence. Whereas I know Japan, it's hard. When you're working as an adult, you're serving your community, you're working those hours. You don't have the time and the energy to go out and do those extra things sometimes. You don't even know where to begin because you don't even know what your hobbies are. Honestly, I bet a lot of people feel that. So
I don't think it's just Japan that has that too. I mean, like plenty of people everywhere.
Yes, yeah, it's everywhere. Japan seems like it could be a place where it's more prominent, I guess, than other spots. But yes, it's like everywhere. Everyone probably has this feeling in some regard,
especially during COVID.
Level.
Like, let's be real. Like because everyone became so isolated. Like that's absolutely a thing. I mean, I know from my personal experience, I've absolutely become more isolated since COVID. It's
tough.
More recently, where I've been more like, all right, let's go places and do things.
Yeah, very true.
All right, Colton. So this is the question I asked Sean. Do you find Marin's personality attractive?
I would say so. Overall, yeah. I would say she's quite attractive, personality-wise, at least. Why are you all in agreement as well?
No, I don't really find Marin's personality that attractive.
Really?
Why'd you finish the show then?
Yeah,
because I like the moments.
Solo carries it. What? Okay. What about her?
I found her attractive. Yes.
What personality?
Too like, I don't know, too energetic almost.
Oh. Yeah, but that's like a lot of anime.
See, I would need that. She's
adorable,
because I'm
but like
not energetic, so I need someone who brings that.
Like she's adorable, but like I don't know. But yeah, like it's not like I didn't find her unattractive. It's just like it wasn't like this instant like, oh my gosh.
She's not your best girl. She's not
my best girl.
She's not your best girl.
No.
I gotta say the Trapped in a Dating Sim anime this season has gotten pretty good. It's definitely a lot different than the other dating sim, reincarnated dating sim.
The
anime.
other one.
I thought they'd be exactly the same, but they're actually quite different. So it's kind of cool.
Okay.
Is it just like Sims?
This guy was reincarnated into this world, but he's not a main character at all. He's like a side character.
That's awesome because
that's
okay.
Like,
he's just. I think he called him a mob.
Yeah.
That's like
an
so
NPC.
He calls himself a mob. he's an NPC technically.
Oh, so he can't get any...
He never even appeared in the game. Like that's the thing.
Okay.
So he's just kind of like he goes to this school, the school time period of the game finally starts, and he just like sees the main characters walk into school. He's just like, oh, I'm gonna stay away from them. Just go the other way.
Okay, I'll have to check it out. Send me.
That actually is
pretty good.
Send me which one it
funny.
is. I want because I mostly I'll see the titles in Japanese.
I think it's just like I'm trapped in a dating sim.
Yes, but there's multiple ones that are trapped in a dating sim this season, which is ridiculous.
No, there's only one.
Is it? Okay, I'll send me a picture of the cover. I can do it off covers. Okay. Are we
trapped in a dating sim? The world of Otome game is tough for mobs.
Okay.
Ah.
Are we? Yeah. And then the other one. Are you guys watching any other like any other series this season?
So I'm
watching a lot of series this season.
I just started Hunter x Hunter, and that is a pretty good show. I watched 5 episodes today.
I saw that. That's pretty. You said, wait, how many episodes did you say?
5 episodes today.
Okay, I heard 25. I'm like, oh my god,
holy crap! No, Hunter x Hunter was great because it was the exact opposite. It was like a breath of fresh air after my Justin Donnelly, because Gon's like, yeah, I'm gonna go do this, and then he goes and does it.
Yeah,
and then there's like
typical
character
shonen.
development.
I'm gonna go find my dad.
Yeah,
and just goes and does it.
I love how there's like character development every episode too. It's like, all right, you don't agree with my ideals? Let's go fight, and then they like talk. Or maybe they don't fight, but they just talk and they're like, all right, well, okay, I kind of get you more. And then they like
Hunter x Hunter is like
steps of development there.
Dragon Ball Z without the filler.
Yeah, it's like been really good. Like the the pacing I have thought so far is really, really good. Even in the first 5 episodes. I know I'm only a short way in, but
yeah. And there's 180, right?
I don't know how many. Are there 180? I thought it was only 100.
144.
Oh, I thought there was only 100. Well, that's a bummer.
That's still a lot.
Like they're already doing the trial where the guy's just running,
game?
the running trial.
Oh, I
where they
love
run
that
for like
scene.
60 kilometers at once. Jeez. And that was just I'm at 5 episodes in. It's like awesome so far.
All right,
I love when you met Killua, I think, right?
Is he the clown? No, the white-haired kid. Yeah, he's cool. I love
when he's just skating along.
Yeah.
And he's like, Gon's like, that's not fair.
Yeah.
He's like,
and he's
I'll
like,
run with you then.
And the kids are like, they're like OP because they're like, they'll like, I'll race you to the end. These other people are just dying of exhaustion after 60 kilometers.
Yeah.
The guy that's leading them, because it's like the guy says, you got to just keep up with me for like 60 kilometers, and then he's like running really fast, so everyone's like, struggling.
He's like Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
Well, he's just walking.
He's
like
walking,
he's just taking long strides.
Yeah. But then he gets to the end.
But it's
he's
like a full-on run at the end.
Yeah. He gets to the end, turns around. He's like, I wonder how many people are there. And the kids are right behind him, like sprinting to get there at first, not even tired.
Yeah, that's not realistic.
It's like,
dude.
what the heck? Well, of
course, not realistic.
Yeah, it's a shonen.
You've got like voodoo powers in this show.
Yeah. These guys, this is a completely different realm, but it's been really fun so far. I'm excited.
It's a fun show, and it's got really good fights.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to talk about Dragon Ball Z real quick because I don't read manga, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for somehow I stumbled upon this channel that just reads manga for you.
What? Is it like text to speech?
On YouTube. No, it's just this guy. He's just reading, not like word for word. He's like kind of crafting it as like narrator.
There's editing.
Oh, I see.
With like going through the panels.
That's kind of cool.
And I apparently it's the next chapter or the next arc of Dragon Ball Z.
Oh,
and
reading ahead, are
so
we?
Dragon Ball Z is super finished, right?
Right. They've already gone to different universes.
Tournament of Power, and they wiped out all the universes and then brought him back, and Zeno was like, whatever,
Yeah.
So the next arc is like within, I would imagine, the first like 2 episodes, Goku becomes the next god of destruction.
Of course he does. Great. So he does.
Gosh.
What happens to Beerus?
There's like a vote. They're like there's like a lot of the god of destructions, they haven't been doing a good job, so they had a vote to like get rid of one, and it was Champa, who is the other god of destruction we saw the most of in the show.
Oh, okay.
He's kind of annoying.
That wasn't Beerus.
They got rid of him.
Okay.
No, Beerus is like our god of destruction.
Yeah.
Or the main, our universe is god of destruction.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
Beerus is like the next universe next door.
Oh, okay.
And so he like, but it's not even a consequence. It's like they just stripped him of the death god powers, so he just starts aging, and he's not a divine entity anymore. He just keeps aging normally.
Okay.
And then he has this other person, this like Kai, this Supreme Kai, and they're apparently tied to his life force, or his DB, his what you call it, destroyer god power.
Mm-hmm.
So when he dies, the guy dies, but because in Dragon Ball Z, that's not a consequence at all.
You just go to heaven, right? Yeah.
And they just go back to heaven. So like in the manga, the panel was like them standing. They took the power out, and the next panel was like them still there, but the Kai just had a halo around his head. It's like,
A very self-aware moment. Yeah.
it's so dumb. And so that happened, blah blah blah. And then they had a vote to give whether Vegeta or Goku was going to become the next god of destruction.
Ooh, that's an intense one.
And unanimously, all the other gods of destructions and the Kais and everything voted for Vegeta, but of course they like the head angel gives it to the Zenos, and it's like, hey, everyone votes for this dude, and Zeno's like, no, we want it to be Goku.
Yeah, Goku's my buddy.
So then he gets
like,
it.
we had some chats.
That's hilarious. I bet
Goku's
Vegeta's
not.
pissed.
I don't think Goku.
Stupid, like
Yeah, he's not meant to run like a universe.
He's who
Goku. Goku. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, not at all. And then so he's like, okay, you're gonna be god of destruction in 24 hours. So they go back home and they throw a party, and they're like a going away party.
Yeah.
Everyone's there again, like, oh hey, we're never gonna see you again. Really,
Literally,
it's so weird.
That is
like,
such an odd. What the heck?
It's like, and they made a couple mentions of like, I can see where this is going but they're running out of stuff. They have to be
Yeah.
because Goku's whole thing is he wants to fight powerful people, right? But if he's the god of destruction, he's the most powerful. But then they said, oh, there's these new things called existences,
Oh, wow.
and those are like stronger than the god of destructions. And he didn't say anything at the time, but I know he's going to try and fight those things.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just so weird, like where they're going. Like I don't understand. They really should have ended it. I mean, the Super was really cool, but like that should have been the end. They really should have ended it.
And then what?
Also-
they just do a different series after that or something in the world. That'd be nice.
Yeah, it makes me laugh that too. Like, Goku becomes god of destruction. It's like what, like a chapter or two, and like although a fight takes like 15 chapters.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but hey, it's
Now,
That's interesting.
Cole, I don't think you've seen any anime from this season, but Sean, have you seen Spy X Family?
not the second episode, but I've seen the
Watch
first
the second episode. It's great. I watched both episodes. I don't know when they come out, but that show, that's going to probably be my show of this season.
This season.
It's pretty good. I do enjoy it.
The first episode is like meh. The second episode's a lot of fun.
I've been seeing a lot of memes from it.
Yeah,
It's been good.
On a random note, when is that Chainsaw anime supposed to come out? Like everyone's been.
I thought it already
hyping
came out.
Is it good? I haven't heard anything about
Chainsaw
it.
Man?
Yeah, Chainsaw Man. Is that
It didn't
out?
seem like a premise that I liked, but it has some cool like moments in it.
People were like super hyped for that, and I didn't hear
Yeah.
anything of it past like a couple months ago.
Let me look it up. Chainsaw Man.
Is he-
it's not yet aired.
Yeah, doesn't he have a
There's
head
been
as a
so much stuff from it.
Yeah.
Why have I? Hasn't,
I think it's the manga just blew up.
2022. I don't know.
Okay. Doesn't he have a chainsaw for a head?
Something like that. Yeah. You'll have to edit out that burp I just did, Sean. That was gross.
Yeah, I'm gonna find that in this
Yeah.
small recorder.
Yeah.
Just gotta listen to the whole recording.
I can't find it. Oh, there's a lot that I'm watching this season. So far, I'm still watching some of them. I'm gonna probably drop Love After World Domination. Yeah, I'll give it another episode or two, but not a huge fan. Skeleton Knight's funny. That's good. And then what's the other one? The Greatest Demon Lord is a typical nobody thing.
What about Kaguya-sama?
I haven't seen the first season, so
Oh shit! Okay, yeah, that and Spy. Is
I haven't
like
seen
the
any of that
two-
show. I do want to start watching that show.
It's
at some point.
very good. It's really fun, and just like the dynamic between the two is pretty fun. Actually, the dynamic between all of them is a blast. So
Who in Kaguya or
Kaguya, yeah.
Spy? Yeah. No, I've seen so many memes. It seems like a really good show, but I just have not started it.
Gotcha.
All right, spear's empty. I'm gonna try and crush it.
all right, go for it.
Jeez, really?
And Sean,
That
okay.
is one
Also,
heck
preface:
of a
Sean's
can.
like a rock climber, right? So he has
dented
insane
a
grip
little
strength.
bit.
Yeah. Basically, did we go over this before the podcast started? Sean has this beer, Sapporo beer can, that's apparently impenetrable. Like he can't crush it with
It's
one hand.
so tough.
And he's like trying to crush it now. And I think you dented a little bit of it with your
Is it
thumb.
just like made of steel?
I don't know what this
Like
is.
a
It's like
steel-
100%. Like you can see, this is my dent.
It's like got like ribbing
That's
on it
about
or
it.
something to keep it structurally sound.
Yeah.
It's just so thick.
It's meant if you like get in a bar fight, you just chuck it at someone, and it's like the most OP weapon in the bar.
Yeah.
Sapporo
It like just makes a
Black.
dent in someone's head.
Yeah. Yeah, and Sean's a rock climber, so he would be able to crush it. He can.
Yeah.
He crushed an egg once. There's that meme. If you
crushed
guys,
an egg once.
if you guys watch,
I don't feel like
I don't
that's
know
as
if our
impressive.
listeners have heard of this, but if you put like an egg in your palm, in the palm of your hand, and then you firmly grasp it with your fingers and whatever, you just grasp it with the egg in the palm of your hand, and you try to squeeze it. Apparently, you cannot crush it because like the force balance is there, and when you try to squeeze it as hard as you can't actually crush it. Well, Sean, I think he cheated, but when he tried to do it, we were all watching him. It was at like this party, and he just crushed the egg, and it squirted egg everywhere, and everyone got like egg in their hair.
Yep.
It was so
And everyone's
funny.
like,
I still
"Oh my
think-
gosh!"
I
We were
still
all
want
drunk.
you to. I want you to try and do it again, Sean, because I don't know. I think that's
I'll
supposed
do it
to be
again.
impossible.
Yep.
We're gonna
Have you
get
guys ever
detailed
eaten a
footage.
The
raw
only
egg?
thing I can think of is I went too fast. But maybe if I try going slower, I
Yeah,
don't
like
think it would
maybe
matter,
firmly
though. I think I'd
grasp
still
it
crush
first and then go. But then again, I think that still counts as a win if you do it fast. I guess. I don't
Have
know.
you guys
Or
ever
that's
eaten a
cheating.
raw egg before?
Absolutely.
Like a rocky situation.
Yeah, I tried rockying them.
No, I've never done that.
Have you?
What were your thoughts, Colton?
It's like it's not good, in my opinion. It's like
Doesn't
swallowing a
look good.
large slimy pill. Like you just swallow it.
Ah,
It's
yeah.
awful.
It's exactly it. Exactly it. Yeah.
I have these new creatine pills that I'm taking for working out, and I like gag every time. I hate swallowing large things.
What is creatine supposed to do?
Creatine is wow. So you might have to cut this out because I'm actually not a very good actual knowledge base on this. I just know it's safe. I've
You
read.
just have to preface this. This is not medically.
It's not
solid
medically
advice.
proven. Whatever.
This is not financial advice.
I just know there are schools or there are institutions that have done research on creatine, and they have identified that it is safe in like 5 gram daily amounts for like 5 years. It's like guaranteed safe. I take 2.5 grams, so I'm safe for even longer than 5 years.
It's a really
Anyways,
weird stipulation.
yeah,
but okay.
I don't know.
After 10 years, after that 5 years, it's like just straight cancer.
Yes. I don't know. Anyways, creatine, like, it like, you retain water when you're on creatine, I believe. So it, like, kind of
Okay.
fills your muscles up a little bit with water, and it helps you, kind of like if you're doing pull-ups, Sean. I know you can relate to this. It's like that moment when you feel like you are about to fatigue out. It's almost
Yeah.
like you have that, you still have that little bit of strength. Like, you have 10% strength left. Like you can do like another 2 to 3 reps, like when you think you can't do a single rep anymore. Like you just had that strength to keep going.
Okay.
And for me, it helps with like I've plateaued before in like bench press, and now when I can like do a lot more reps now, and I can go up and weight a lot faster, just because I can get that last little push to get my muscles stronger.
Interesting.
It does a lot to you. Like gain water weight when you're on it though. I gained like 5 pounds of water weight that I had to lose again when I
So you're
went on
like
creatine.
bloated. Does it make you feel bloated?
It doesn't make me feel bloated, but I think when you work out, like I did chest day today, I felt way more swollen than usual. Like I felt weirdly swollen, and it's like I don't know if that's placebo, but it like the water felt like was getting in my muscles, and I'm like I can't move.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like the
occasionally I'll try. This is one of those like fun like things about working out that I was like I don't like, but then at the same time I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Where I was trying to reach something on my shoulder after a workout, and I like couldn't reach my shoulder.
Oh yeah, like you're so big,
like
I can't do it.
like really struggling like that. I'm like, it's kind of cool, but at the same time, very annoying.
You're like that meme of the guy like walking into the walking into the store, right? He's like this just extremely jacked guy, and he has like walk with like a almost like a cowboy, right? Because he's just like so like his muscles are so massive.
I'm definitely not that big, but it is fun seeing the results of training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It basically creatine is it like increases your stores of ATP in heavy lifting and high intensity
the
exercise.
muscle, the energy that the mitochondria produces.
Mitochondria is the was it the mitochondria is the
Come on, you don't even
I don't even know it. No.
It's the powerhouse of the cell,
Powerhouse of the cell. What are we doing? It's the only thing I know.
Yep.
It is the what is it? It's its biggest win is one of the most tested like additives to a workout. Supplements. One of the most tested supplements in the workout industry. And it's not like it's not like you feel like a completely different person when you take it. But for me, I feel like it has a big difference. It definitely gives me that last push. I get like one more rep on heavy sets now.
It's a little healthier than like anabolic steroids.
Yeah, steroids, you don't want that. You don't want steroids.
Don't want tiny balls?
I feel like I don't have that sort of plateau with climbing, so I don't necessarily... It'd be kind of interesting to see what happens, but I don't feel that I need it.
That'd be a good case study. Go on it for 3 weeks, and you would feel the differences in 3 weeks. Like, see if you can just make that last, like, couple, I don't know, rocks, climb those last couple things. I don't know what, like, your limitation is or what it feels like, but that would be interesting. But I take it in the form of pills, and they're huge, and they suck. I can't swallow large pills. I try to swallow it, and I like gag it back up.
How big are we talking?
It's huge. It's like this.
Do you have one?
I do. Let me go get one. You guys continue the conversation. Gamers.
All right. I'm curious about this because I don't really have an issue taking pills. No. You just put a pill in water and put your head back. And if it's small enough, I can even do it dry. It's not a problem.
Yeah. No, I used to have to take like stuff and like vitamins and shit like that, and so you'd have like 3 pills, 4 pills, and you'd be like, all right, you just like tilt your head back and just pour them all in. It's like, all right.
The biggest pill I've had though was like a vitamin C pill that was like 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C.
Why the fuck were you taking that? Also, they have them like chewable forms. The chewable ones are a lot better.
No, if I'm doing, I don't mess with chewable. It's either you take it in a pill or it's like some sort of diluted drink thing. Like I'll have it like a emergency.
Yep. Dude, my favorite though is I have the gummy ones. Oh shit, that is pretty big.
That's not that big.
This is huge.
It's pretty big.
It's like
that's about the size of the vitamin C pill that I was talking about.
No, I think you're lying. It's like bigger, twice as big as my fingernail.
Vitamin C, but
yeah,
look at that. It's like huge. The great thing though is what I do is you can actually like take this apart. You can like undo it, and the powder just comes out. So that's how I take it.
And you snort it.
Yeah, I snort it. I snort it. It's like I pretend. Yeah, cocaine. It's like, I'm maxing out today, boys. Gonna like line this creatine up.
Dude, I actually had a friend back in like an acquaintance back in college who would do that with caffeine pills. He would just take them.
No, that I don't recommend. Viewers, I don't recommend you do this. That sounds awful.
He was an interesting guy.
Approve this message.
The dude knew about every drug under the sun. It's like you basically ask him about something, right? And like even the most obscure shit, he'd be like,
"Yikes!"
He'd be like, "This is exactly what I want." Dosage. I'm like, "Thanks." If I ever run into something like that,
I'll not need this information ever.
Good to know. I know there's a guy at my work that did the same thing. He except he came up to me. And he's like, "Are you tired, Colton?" He was an intern, which was even weirder. "Are you tired, Colton?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm getting tired."
It's so weird.
He's like,
if someone comes up to you like that, "Are you tired, man?"
Yeah,
right, yeah.
And I'm like,
"Dude,
I
pick me up."
I'm feeling tired, dude. I need more coffee. And he's like, you know what I do? I just snort cocaine like or I no, he said I snort caffeine like cocaine.
Oh, wow.
I snort cocaine. No, he's like, yeah, I just like get the caffeine pill, I chop it up, and he was saying this really loud. I sit like close to my manager. And he's like yelling this
You're
out.
like looking around.
Yeah,
like,
I'm like, he's like, yeah, just. And I'm like, dude, okay.
It's like, good for you, man. Good for you.
Yeah, good job.
Good for you. I'm gonna go over. I need to copy some papers.
I need to
See you later.
Like I'm gonna go. Yeah.
Yep.
What an interesting time.
I gotta say this. I'm gonna forcefully change our topic.
It's about the Pez.
I really hope my mom isn't listening to this because
Doesn't she listen to every episode though?
I don't know.
Fake fan.
I think she's kind of dropped
Miss
off.
McMillan.
In either case, she sent me an Easter basket for Easter.
Oh,
Which is very nice of her to do.
That's very nice, yeah.
And some chocolate.
It's
However,
Easter today, by the way.
Inside of this Easter basket was a Pez dispenser. Because
the
it
Pez.
was like a Star Wars. It was a Mandalorian Pez dispenser. So I got the Mandalorian here.
Wow.
And then there's Baby Yoda, which is a smaller Pez dispenser that doesn't fit a whole thing of Pez. So
That's
weird.
That's pretty.
But it's cute.
That's sus.
Now, I was thinking about this while I was trying to load this Pez dispenser and then eat after that. That Pez, have you guys both had Pez?
I love Pez. Yeah, Pez is great.
It's got to be the candy with the most effort to reward ratio possible.
I mean, yeah,
Like in the sense that it's way more effort than it's worth.
they make you like buy hardware to eat the candy, which is just absurd.
And then it's one at a time. It's basically Smarties, but with extra steps.
With much more money involved.
And much more money. Like, I think people buy these to collect the little dispenser things.
Absolutely.
But that goes into collecting, and I don't understand collecting anyway. So like, I tried to load this thing, and then I spilled the thing twice trying to do that, and then eventually I just did one at a time,
Yeah.
And then I was eating a couple of them, and I'm just like, these aren't
This took
enjoyable.
way too much effort.
You just gotta skip the entire step and just like rip open the Pez package and just eat them from the package.
But then you run into the problem where the Pez themselves is just not that enjoyable.
No,
it's like meh,
It's the extra effort. It's the effort that creates the reward, which is like,
Yeah,
all right.
this like self-inflicted pain, but then
it's one of those things
beautiful.
that like you because you've spent so much effort getting this thing out of the package into the thing to then get it one at a time that you're like, oh yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
But then you try it, you're like, what? If you think about it, it's not that great.
It's like cooking for yourself. Like usually, even if it's like I accidentally cook something like terrible, usually I'm like, all right, I'll still eat it, and it's like, it tastes decent. Even though if I had this at a restaurant, I'd be like, fuck that, I'm sending it back.
Throw this
Fuck
out.
that.
Yes.
Get it out of here. Give me my real
I can
meal.
see that.
Trash.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Trash.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I don't know. It's just
I
I had this realization because I haven't had Pez in probably a decade.
I love Pez though. Pez is so good.
Really?
Pez is better than Smarties.
Oh, absolutely.
Prove me wrong.
That's false.
Pez is
but
so
okay.
good. Pez is just. I don't know why I like Pez so much. I like Pez without the hardware. I like just getting the Pez packets and just eating the Pez standalone. It's that
Pez
good.
to me is like a relic from a bygone era.
It does
is-
feel like that, but it's still good.
Pez is delicious, man.
Well, I have about 6 packages here if you want them.
If you want to
ship
send me
them
some,
to him.
if you want to send me some, I will be happy.
It'll cost
happily
more
happy
than
for
an
you to do
entire
that.
thing, like an entire like metric ton of Pez just to ship those 6 packages.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Did you get like a Easter chocolate bunny, or did you only get some Pez?
There was a bunny. Yeah.
Did you get anything else like
see,
money?
the thing with me and sweets though is I don't eat them very much, so I just put them in the freezer and then I might eat them sometime in the next year.
Yeah.
It's like I just don't.
why
eat them
why
very
the freezer?
often. Well, because chocolate tastes better after you freeze it.
That's like so false that it hurts.
I'm with Sean
Yo,
on this one. I
no,
love frozen
come
chocolate.
on,
Yeah,
no way.
let's go.
Absolutely.
Let's talk through this. Let's talk through this. What do you do when you want to eat some chocolate, right? And then you want to bite the chocolate, and you can't because it's so frozen and hard.
That never happens because the most
That's how.
satisfying part of the chocolate
No, it
is when
doesn't.
you go like and you break
Bro,
it
your
and you
teeth-
hear that
your-
like crunch and it's like, oh,
One of these
It
days
does
you're
not
gonna
I'll
like
put Snickers bar in the freezer.
Snickers bars are not as good in the freezer. No, because like, dude, your teeth are
Only the
gonna
ice
break.
cream ones.
Well, ice cream
No,
you
the
have to put
whole
in the
regular
freezer.
Snickers bar.
No.
Yeah, I'll put that in the freezer.
I draw the line at regular
That's-
Snickers bars.
I
Now,
mean,
here's
dude,
the real
that's
kicker:
so tough.
Thin
How do
mints.
you-
Thin mint.
I don't even like
Girl
Thin
Scout
Mints.
cookies.
Well, I hate mint, so I don't.
I don't like Thin
that
What?
Mints.
doesn't go
You
with
don't
me.
like,
like
Thin
how-
Mints?
No,
I don't
hate
like
them.
Thin Mints. Dude, tagalongs are way better. We've like gone through 3 topics.
No,
so fast.
Thin Mints are the apex. The apex.
No, they're not.
Of
Thin
Girl
Mints are
Scout
like
cookies.
Thin Mints are C tier. I'm not even.
I
Gonna
really
lie.
don't like any Girl Scout cookie except for the ones that are peanut butter.
tagalongs.
Is that a tag along?
Samoas.
I don't know if they're tagalongs though.
The second one.
Really?
The next one.
Samoas are pretty good.
Yes, the Samoas. They're the next one below Thin Mints.
Samoas
Thin
are
Mints
amazing.
are the apex.
Thin Mints
Tag-
suck. Why does
Samoas
anyone?
and Thin Mints are S tier.
Oh, okay. Tagalongs are good. What's the other one?
Samoas. Oh wait, I like the
Sim-
s'mores. I like the s'mores ones too. Those are
Nope,
good.
I don't like that.
Oh, okay, Sean.
Yeah, we just like changed topics 5
Yeah.
times over the
Anyways,
course of
I would
2
love-
Oh,
minutes.
the Samoas are terrible. I hate
The ones with
those.
coconut on them, those are delicious.
Oh no,
Dude, okay.
they're so good.
You know why? Because they have coconut in them, and I hate coconut.
What the fuck, man? How do you hate coconut? It's delicious.
You're from LA.
It's terrible.
Aren't you
Coconut's
supposed
like
to
one of
be
the
island
worst
boy?
foods. No, they're terrible.
I think I'm still like back on the whole thing where wait, Sean said 2 things. So the chocolate in the freezer, and then you like had a really hot take that we couldn't respond to. You're like, I don't understand collectibles. And I'm like, should we go back to that? I guess I don't collect anything either, but collectibles are fun. Collectibles can be
Like
fun.
what?
I don't know. Like, you collect light novels, Sean.
Do I collect them?
Yeah, you kind of do.
You read them, like you use them, but then you keep them, right? You have to.
And
That's just books, though.
and
Yeah,
you
but you're
sometimes
collecting
get the digital versions of them, and then you buy the actual light novels, even though you don't even read
Yeah.
them, right?
And you
That's
wanna get-
definitely collecting.
No, I
That's
read all
definitely
I
collecting.
read all the books that I buy.
Yeah, but haven't
Sure.
you've definitely done where you like wasn't it Overlord where you read you got the ebook version of them first, and then you got the physical version?
Well, that's because I want physical. I don't like digital, so I get the physical, read that, and then I have the book, and then I can go back and reread it.
But you like that's still
You're still collecting them.
Yeah, you're still collecting them.
You have a giant
I
shelf
don't know if
of
that's
them.
the same thing, though.
I think they are.
Yeah,
Like,
it kinda
what's
is.
the definition of collecting? I feel like that has to be.
All right, well, here's something I saw just today. This dude collects Funko Pops. You know, the little things.
It's like
Yeah.
collecting figures, anime figures.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Just
and
lower
but,
tier.
way lower tier.
But you can't do anything with them. Like he leaves them in the box, you know, and they're just like a wall of these things. I'm like, what? Why?
Because
We're like collecting coins or stamps.
why do people collect anime
or-
figures? What are you gonna do with them?
That's the thing. It's like I that's something that's not collecting to me because like
Anime.
or
fig-
sorry, that is collecting to me, and that's why I don't do it. Is because like I don't collect things.
But you
Except for
collect
light
books.
novels.
You definitely collect books. What about your records?
What
I
about
guess you
bottle
can-
caps? I collect bottle caps from beer.
Collecting definition.
I feel like
This is where Google always betrays me. But all right,
silence.
definition.
I want
Do
to
you
know
collect
this
anything,
definition.
Colton?
No. Well, I think I used to maybe. You can maybe consider myself collecting video games and consoles, but my brother did most of that. I don't think I really collect much, to be completely honest.
All right.
I collect alcohol. I like alcohol. I collect a lot of alcohol.
I collect alcohol.
But then you use it and then it's gone.
It's
right?
inside your
yeah,
body.
but then
you collect it
yeah.
inside your body.
Yeah.
No, I feel
All right. I mean, maybe I do collecting, but I don't understand most of it.
Maybe I do collecting. Sean is
is a
he's seen the
collector.
definition and has betrayed him once again.
Well, so it's a verb, collect, to bring or gather together. And then in parentheses, things typically when scattered or widespread. So,
Oh.
and 2 is call for and take away or to fetch. So that's,
Look up, do Urban Dictionary because I feel like that's going to be a little bit more
Yeah.
accurate in this case.
Collecting. Yeah, they're like saying you collect pens. Like, oh, I collected my
Yes.
papers that were around my desk, which is not
That's
really what we're
exactly.
looking for.
That's the feeling I'm getting from Merriam-Webster.
I still think Sean is collecting.
I 100% agree.
I think Sean collects.
well, I mean, in that case, we all collect things, you know, like,
well, yeah.
yeah,
but
I
that
collect
doesn't-
clothes because I have to do the laundry.
Collectible. This is according
shoot.
to Urban Dictionary. A collectible, a horrible waste of money, better spent on buying a house, car, or
whatever.
investing.
Whatever.
Accurate.
Collection, a valuable group of collected items placed together, as in media, books, stamps, or other interesting crap.
Interesting crap, though. Would you consider your books interesting crap?
Yeah.
Not to most people, just to me.
Well, see,
you know?
it's subjective, though.
Yeah.
I think that's totally fine.
Is it interesting and is it crap?
I've never considered books collecting. Now, what I would say I collect would be like Halo consoles. Like I want to have all of the Halo consoles.
Yeah. You
Yes.
collect Xboxes, basically.
But I wouldn't say books are that, because to me, if you're collecting something, the main point is to have it, to display it, to just have it
So, like, but why don't you sell
as
your...
a part of a thing.
Why don't you
But you
sell
also
your...
display all
normally
your
if I'm
books.
buying a book, I'm buying a book to then read it. You know, it's not to collect it.
And then
It's
after
to-
you read it, you display it on your shelf.
Well, by that definition, literally everything you buy is collecting.
I don't
like,
think so.
I bought bananas to eat them, but I'm gonna put them on my shelf to collect them. You know, like that's the stupid
But then I
definition.
throw away the
It's
peels
not.
after I eat them.
I
Or
think,
they go
Sean,
bad because bananas go bad in 2 days.
What do you do? I still... That has to be collecting. I don't think it's
Yeah.
bad. I don't... You're actually like, it's a bad thing to collect. Like, I hate
Because I don't like
these
collecting.
collectors.
Except you like collecting Halo
I think you
consoles
do.
and
I
books.
think you do. Would you buy an anime like box set? Do you have? I don't know if you have any actually.
Actually, yeah, you do. You've got Blu-rays
Um,
of some anime.
I have Blu-rays of Elfen Lied, and that's about it.
Guess you're not collecting that.
I guess
but-
that's a singular item.
Well, see, here's also in my mind the distinction: a collector will spend any amount of money to collect the thing that they're trying to get. I will not. I'll be like, man, that console's like $600 right now. I'm not going to buy that.
Well, wait. You just
So you're a collector, but
a
you're
cheap
sane.
collector.
Hence why I'm not a collector. Because collectors, in my mind, are insane.
I don't know. I
There's probably a
think
bunch of
Sean's-
people who are like, listen to this. They're like,
They're like, I don't know. I think Sean's gonna
Fight
be
me.
fought. I think people are gonna fight you.
It's
in the
crazy.
comments. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, everyone has something they like to spend money on, and if your thing that you like to spend money on is acquiring figures or stamps, more power to you. It's not something I would enjoy.
I guess it's fair because like we spend money on like other things, just not collectible items.
I
Yeah, like
collect-
I'll spend money on like a fancy camera. Does that mean I'm collecting cameras?
Well, no, you don't have
Yeah.
multiple cameras.
Or trips or food.
I do have multiple
I
cameras.
collect food in
Well,
my
okay.
belly. That's what I collect.
Food.
I have like 3 GoPros. Does that mean I collect GoPros? I sell them off when I get a new one. When
That's
the new
the
one
thing,
comes
though.
out,
You don't
know?
sell your books. You don't sell your
Yeah.
books.
And
You
that's
do
why I
collect
think
them.
it counts as a collectible because they're physical items that you don't sell and then you also display them.
because they don't have value except to me.
I think there's some people that would say they have value.
Reselling books is like one of the biggest scams ever. You can't make any money off of reselling books
don't
or
disagree.
video games.
Can you? I guess some collectibles are resellable. Isn't like a Beanie Babies a whole entire
Yeah,
thing
like
where
you
that,
could
like,
sell
They were until the Beanie Baby bubble popped.
Beanie Baby bubble. I don't know about this Beanie Baby bubble.
I
but
don't know either.
I
It was a thing that there's like, you never seen the picture of the people in court dividing their Beanie Babies because they got divorced?
really. Oh my
They're
god.
like,
There's a
this is
thing.
like, you
That's
know, this is our
hilarious.
retirement plan. And then, of course, Beanie Babies are worth absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
And
like
that's why I don't like collecting. See, that's why this is my thing with collecting, is that like people who collect baseball cards, they're like, oh, I'm gonna be able to sell these someday for like or Pokemon cards or any sort of thing like that. Like I'm gonna sell this for a vast thing. That only has value as long as the other people think it has value.
That's
like
it's
if no
everything though. That's money.
But that's the thing, like you know, but they believe strongly that like, oh, this has value, but really it doesn't. So like, then it's not really
we could say that
worth
about
collecting.
anything because like money has only amount of value as people believe it.
Yeah, but that's when you go back to the barter system. You know, it's like, all right, this has value because it is like
Yes.
a month's supply of food.
Yeah.
And this is value.
I don't think
I do understand though. It's like NFTs in the art world. Like it's like, you know,
Oh,
Not
don't even
quite
get
that
started
bad.
on
Not
NFTs.
quite that bad. I don't think you have to collect something and it has to have value. I could collect, I don't know. I could collect different, like, I don't know, anime figures. I could collect anime figures. And I don't care if they mean any, like, that set is a value of something. I just like having them.
yeah.
Or I could collect computer hardware. I don't care that it ages, but I like this hardware. Collecting video game consoles, an NES isn't that expensive. But you just like having the collection and displaying the
I
collection.
feel like if you're that type of collector, you'd be ridiculed by actual collectors, though. You know,
because
like
your
there's
stuff's
definitely
not
some
of
sort
worth.
of like dynamic. They're like, you don't collect.
Well, those collectors
you know,
suck.
Yeah.
And
the
they can-
1955 release of the version 2
Yeah.
special edition of the Ricky Bobby
Did
baseball
you say
game.
Ricky Bobby?
signed rookie card.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's that level
Ricky
of that's
Bobby.
what I'm not. You know, I don't care about that stuff. So that's what I'm not a collector in my
Oh,
mind.
yes, Ricky Bobby.
I think you're a
The
collector,
famous baseball
Sean.
player.
The thing is, I don't think you're allowed to call yourself a collector. It's based on other people. Like, are you a collector compared to like from someone else's point of view?
I disagree with
See,
that.
I don't think
I
Sean
think
is a
definitely the
collector.
collectors will say
I
will
think he is a
proudly
collector.
proclaim that they're
Don't-
collectors.
Don't jump ship, Mike. Sean is a collector. Don't jump ship
I don't
on
think
me.
he's a collector, but I think he does collect.
I
I
can
think a
get
collector.
behind
I
that.
think do all collectors collect, but do all?
Because I think Sean doesn't have the attitude
Collecting.
of what we're putting the assumption on, like the collector.
But we're
you
but
know?
we're assuming a collector is some sort of person or being. A collector is just someone who collects.
yes,
like,
but
and-
there's like there's an absolute definition, like a prescribed definition, and then like a determined definition, like one that's because like what you're talking about is the prescribed definition of someone who collects is a collector, but then there's like the cultural definition, which is someone who like basically part of their ego, part of their how they value themselves
Personality.
is that they collect.
I think Sean's personality is a collector, though. Like he likes to collect books.
What are you
Not in a-
talking
not in
about?
a bad
No,
way.
I've spent the last 20 minutes saying how I'm not. So
I
how
think you
can
just
I
want to
be?
deny it. I think you're a true collector. Just can't deny. Anyways,
Disagree.
Yep.
yeah.
But let me tell you why Spider-Man No Way Home is the perfect movie.
it is
What the fuck was that
segue.
segue?
Let's put a sponsorship between that break, that transition there.
Yeah.
All right, Sean. Why is Spider-Man? You think it's the perfect movie? Or are you memeing in a way? You actually
I
think
was
it's
watching
the perfect
again
movie?
last night, and honestly, it's such an amazing movie that has not happened in in ever. I don't think.
Okay. Can I? I'll let you explain the movie, and I want you to try and convince me otherwise. I don't think it's the
Spoiler
perfect.
alert, by the way. So,
Yeah, spoiler alert for.
Yeah,
It's been
I'm
out
gonna-
for, like,
I'm gonna
3
spoil it on
months.
the way home. If
Yeah.
listen, if you're a true Marvel fan, you haven't seen this movie, you're not a true Marvel fan. All right, get out.
Wait. I just want to say before you dive into it, Sean, that I thought like No Way Home was a 7.5 out of 10.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
All right,
I want you to
Sean,
convince
first-
me otherwise. I'll let you explain, but I'm like I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was amazing. So tell me why it's amazing.
Here's why it's a perfect movie. Okay. Spider-Man's
Perfect movie.
overall have never been top tier movies.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm
You
not
know?
sure what you mean.
What are you talking about?
Okay, so no, I'll let
He's
you
like,
finish.
you take
then,
three
then I
6
can,
out of 10
then I can
movies,
refute you
put them
apart and
together,
argue, and you
10 out
can,
of 10.
yeah.
I'm saying they're not top tier movies, and
Okay.
you're disagreeing with that. Okay. In any case, individual Spider-Mans, they're not that they're fun movies, but they're not like the best movie of all time. They're just movies, And Spider-Man in particular has done things that because is like one of the only Marvel movies that has such has not tied into the universe at all because they've rebooted it so many times. It's like a DC type movie because they have a different actor every time they do the movie again. And that was before the whole Avengers saga started, right? And they found the new dude to be their Spider-Man. That was
Right.
it. Now, because of some of the stuff that Marvel has done, like with the whole multiverse and timelines and everything, you've prepped the stage for this No Way Home movie to come out, which I think has done something that no other movie has been able to do since, which is give resolutions to movies that have come out prior.
Yeah, I'm getting
that are completely unrelated.
I'm getting what you're saying. Yeah.
So like they had two different Spider-Man, canonically different Spider-Mans come in to join it, the third canonically different Spider-Man into this movie, which was an amazingly well-kept secret. You know, you never knew yes or no whether that was going to happen. You had the one leak with Andrew Garfield on the thing, but you still didn't know, you know, until you really went to see the movie. I was still, you know, unknown.
They did good, I think.
All the reveals come in, and in the movie, you never had that type of vibe where these are three people, like from the actor's perspective, and then from like the character perspective. These are three people who have acted Spider-Man. That is a very unique role. I mean, like any sort of like superhero like that is a very unique role that doesn't get played a lot. Like Spider-Man, they've only done 3 live action Spider-Mans like that. And to have them interact together, I imagine would be extremely special to them because they're the only people that have done that. So they can really like get behind each other in that from an actor's perspective. And then from a viewer's perspective, to see the 3 different characters come into play and how they interact as the different Spider-Mans is really rewarding to a viewer. And then each of their individual character arcs gets an extra resolution in this movie because there are so many scenes where they are like taking in the knowledge and experience from their previous movies into a new one. And it was really quite amazing. I mean, like, I really did not like Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man in general. Like, he was all right. I liked him in the first movie. But in the second one, especially when Gwen died, it was like, that sucked and stupid. It was a dumb death. And all that. And it's like, come on. But in this movie, you have this like really weird like self-reaffirmation between the Spider-Mans, weird in a good way. That's like at one point they're referencing like, you know, the Tobey Maguire is like, no, you are amazing. You know, a good character development for that Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and B, referencing that his was the Amazing Spider-Man in his movie titles. And he gets a resolution in saving this universe's MJ from falling in the exact same situation that his died.
That was like the best scene of the movie, in my opinion. That was insanely good. Well thought of.
I mean, there's all of them have their own unique resolutions, and no other movie has ever had a resolution for a previous character in like a movie series. Not to my knowledge. I mean, that's like incredibly rare to happen. And like like even if you're a casual Spider-Man fan, it was a really fun way to introduce 3 different of the same characters, you know? And they're all likable characters. So like the dynamic that developed between that because of that history with the actors as well as the characters was super special, I thought. And then you have the villain resolution and everything. And like, it's, I was watching last night and be like, man, this is like one of the best movies to ever, like writing wise to exist.
Yeah. See,
feel free to refute this, but I'm going to stand by my point.
I kind of disagree. So I'm with Colton where it's not a perfect movie. I thought it was good. I give it a little higher. I give it like an 8 out of 10, 8.5. But I actually thought the Spider-Man, I felt it was kind of forced. They forced the other Spider-Man into, they Marvelified them. Like they had to like make those moments, whereas I feel like it didn't, the continuity between like the old movies didn't pull through as much. Like I feel like it was kind of just like
how so?
Like when Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was introduced, it was just like, oh, hey there. Like, and there was no, like, no, I mean, that's literally what it was. It was just like him.
It was.
Oh,
yeah,
hi.
that was pretty funny.
And I mean, it was cool because like they they really
He
played it
was
up.
very much like out of Gatsby in that moment, I thought. Like
Absolutely.
he felt like his character in Gatsby rather than the
he did
character
not
in
feel
Spider-Man.
like Peter Parker for Spider-Man, but to be fair, he's also supposed to be older, right? He's
Right.
supposed to be like
Yep.
Peter B. Parker, if you ever saw the Spider-Verse one, right? He's like the older.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I just felt like Tobey Maguire's and some like the lines. It felt like they were trying to. They basically put what Tom Holland would say as like Spider-Man into like their words versus like trying to pull the characters. I mean, I don't mind if they did the transition, but I feel like it was just an immediate forced.
I can see that a little bit.
Yeah. Now, where I did think they did really well was actually bringing back villains, primarily Doc Ock and the Green Goblin. Like
It
Green
was so
Goblin
cool to see
was
that.
so, dude, Willem Dafoe can just
Doc Ock is like my favorite villain from Spider-Man.
yeah, but Willem Dafoe's like Green Goblin, just like him, like
He's still good.
switching
yeah.
between. It was awesome,
Yeah,
and just
very
seeing
good.
Doc Ock become like a good guy, right? Because you know that like he's in like control, like the
And
arms are in
originally he
control.
was a good guy.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
he just
got controlled, right,
had
by
this
his things.
AI tentacle things
Yeah,
attacking
like,
him.
he's
you know?
actually a good
if
person.
If it wasn't for that, he'd be a totally nice dude.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
absolutely. And that was awesome because it's like you're able to see the Doc Ock before, but at the same time, like he's got his tentacle arm things that can like grab stuff,
Yeah.
and he's like helping out them. And I thought Sandman felt a little forced. Like they didn't have too much.
Yeah, some of the villains were like,
Well, actually, for Sandman as well as the Dino guy, they didn't have the actors in the movie.
yeah, I noticed that because Sandman, he was always in
Yeah.
his sand form, right?
Yeah, and they
Except for at the very end, and they reused footage from the older
Yeah.
movies.
They
Okay.
did, yeah. Which is really good. I gotta say they did a nice job with that. But yeah, I didn't like that. What was Dino guy? I forget his name.
Sanders or
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know. He was a geneticist or whatnot.
Oh, yeah,
the lizard guy.
The lizard,
Yeah.
Lizard guy.
lizard guy. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was a weird villain in general, but that's an amazing Spider-Man villain, so he's
Yeah.
always kind of weird.
Right.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, but yeah, I just thought it was all right. I felt it was kind of contrived, and like I think the pacing was a little fast on it, comparatively.
No, I think the pacing was good.
But I did
Yeah,
find
If
it
anything,
fun.
getting over May dying was a little fast. But
Absolutely,
at the same time, he also had like two of himself to kind of push him and console him through that. So
I
that's
see.
why
That's
I gave
one
the
thing I
pass to
didn't
it.
like is actually the Uncle Ben. Like, oh yeah, like it was my Uncle Ben. Like, I don't know. It just something felt off about it. I don't know if his like the cinematography or something. Just it felt just there wasn't as much gravitas.
Really? Because that's like one of the most powerful scenes for me,
So, yeah,
The
I
Uncle
didn't get
Ben?
the same when they're talking about
especially
like,
with
Gwen.
when Gwen dying. I was like, wow, he's still beating himself up about it. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what I was
I don't know. I think
in the moment. I was like, wow, that's really good acting.
yeah. I thought it was decent. It's just something about it just threw me off. Like pulled me out of the moment. I don't know how to describe that.
Yeah, I have the same kind of opinion. Like forced, I think is a good word. I did not think it was. I don't know. I don't think it was like written like fantastically. Like I liked all the ideas, and I did like all the resolution. Andrew saving the new Mary Jane was like amazing. That was like seriously awesome. Because in the specifically because in the trailer, they pretend to reenact the scene with Tom Holland doing it. So you're expecting that Tom Holland, it's into the Spider-Verse, Tom Holland is going to do what maybe Andy or Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man didn't do, and that's like a good parallel. But when Andrew Garfield's actually came in, that was a good one. That was claps.
When he's holding her, he's like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, she's like,
I was like, "Oh no!"
Thank God.
Yeah.
That was
It was such a good moment.
That was fantastic. But just as a movie in general, yeah, I can't really give it the best movie, like the best written or the best movie. I think there's plenty of movies that beat out. I mean, I know Spider-Man has the legacy, but as just from an objective like technical aspect, even though I'm not a huge movie guy, I feel like it could have been better, I suppose.
Also, I felt like the memes were forced too. Like, there's definitely a lot of meme moments. Like, it's like my back, right? Or I'm something of a scientist myself. I'm like, I love like that because it's kind of funny Gen Z humor,
pretty good.
But at the same time, I'm like, it felt a little forced in that moment.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I also went into this movie with ridiculously high expectations because a lot of people also thought it was ridiculously good, like amazing. So I went in there thinking it was going to be like one of the best Marvel movies, and I don't think so. I think it's beaten by a fair amount of Marvel movies.
I went in there with pretty normal expectations for a movie.
I think if I did go in there with normal expectations, it could have wowed me a little bit more. But yeah, I don't know. It just that is a good point with you saying they resolved all the two previous movies, because that is very powerful to think about.
They had extra resolutions.
Yeah,
like
their movie franchises got canceled, and they actually got full character like resolutions there. Like it felt complete. Yeah. So I applaud that, and it wasn't something I was thinking about before when I initially came out of the movie theater watching that.
What did you think about the ending?
What part of the ending you're talking about? Like forgetting everybody?
Forgetting everybody, and he basically
That's the other thing.
Oh man, what a terrible, terrible thing to have. I was like, oh my god, this is probably one of the worst possible things to happen.
Yeah. See, the thing that sucked though is that kind of seems like a political move, because I thought Marvel lost Spider-Man rights from that, so they had to end it that way, because Tom Holland's not going to be in Marvel universe anymore. I didn't think.
Yeah,
No,
they kind
he
of share him.
definitely will be.
So Sony technically owns him, but they kind of do have like this sharing thing going
I
on.
thought-
One, it's political, because they have to basically have like essentially a soft reset on the character.
Yeah.
That way they can do whatever they want with him.
That's what it kind of seemed like. It wasn't like, it was like they wanted this to happen, so they wrote it in to be that way, instead of it being a true like thing that Tom Holland has to get over, like a very organic storyline. If that makes sense.
It seemed organic to me as far as resolution, because and you can't really argue it because of how magic spells work, which is a convenient plot device.
It's
But-
Mhm.
At the same time, like, it's a good resolution to his screw up. He messed up the whole thing.
Yeah. It's a
and
fair.
he's facing the ultimate consequence.
It's a fair outcome
and he
for him.
still gets to be Spider-Man, and he's not getting to MIT with his friends. And he made the decision to stay away from them,
Right.
as like a punishment to himself for the whole thing, as additionally, which is pretty harsh. But
Yeah, I really liked it actually, because it's one of the few Marvel movies where I felt like there were true consequences.
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah. Marvel
it felt-
movies have that issue, I think.
Yeah, and it's like, shit. Even like something like, I think the only other one I can think of is Endgame and like an Infinity War, right? Like that one,
Yeah.
obviously Iron Man. You're like, but yeah,
he died, done, dead.
yeah. But this is the only other one that I feel like, okay, there's like true consequences. It's not like, oh, they save the world and everyone's like happily ever after. Like usually have like these like pseudo bittersweet endings in Marvel movies where they try to make it like there's consequences, but in reality, like
It's like
It's
not
not.
that bad. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
whereas this
I
one,
thought it was interesting how not interesting, but like another like homage was him getting that apartment at the end.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
that's the exact same apartment that Tobey Maguire had in his Spider-Man.
Gonna break this damn door. When you fix this damn door. Yeah.
that was one meme they missed out on.
That would have been great.
I think I don't consider myself like a major Spider-Man fan, any more than I am other superhero things,
Right.
Mm-hmm. But it just really like resonated with me, this whole movie, like how it encapsulated all of Spider-Man at once. It's really cool.
Well, I'm glad you came out with it with positive feelings. I should probably watch it again. I'd like to watch it again to get another view at it, just to see. But yeah. Wow.
That was my segue again.
That was the segue. I think that's the end of the segues though tonight, my dudes. I think we gotta I don't even know. I'm just gonna stop the podcast.
Wrap it up.
I
Is that
was
what
like,
you're
I'm trying to
looking
think
for,
of a
maybe?
clever way to wrap it up, but it's like, no, I'm just gonna say it. We're wrapping up the podcast now. I had another topic.
Just like,
I wanna talk-
our
Spider-Man
thing now
wrapping
is
up a
just abrupt
criminal.
endings.
We're gonna wrap this.
Oh, woohoo, yeah.
God, that was absolutely terrible. But
Yeah. I have another topic.
The one joke that I thought was a bit odd in that was when
What?
they're like, I'm part of the Avengers. And Maguire was like, that's awesome. what's that? Like that was like normally you wouldn't react that way if you didn't know what something was.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd be like,
That was a bit odd.
That's awesome. What's that? That would have been funny if he was like, that's awesome. We have comics about that in my universe.
That would be
that'd
cool.
be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. I had another topic I want to
I
talk
thought,
about,
and
but
a couple of the references, like Daredevil was kind of cool. I
Daredevil
don't
was
watch
cool.
the show, but
Charlie
that
Cox,
was
yeah.
cool.
it was cool to see him.
Yeah.
He's
He'll
like,
come in.
how did you do that?
I'm a really good lawyer.
I'm a really good lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
I mean,
It's clever.
Yeah.
It was clever. Well, thank you, gamers, for joining us on this episode of Almost a Podcast. I'm your host, Colton. One day we'll get there. Man, this outro sucks. I was trying to make it fun. I was trying to make it a fun outro, and it sucks. One day we'll get
Come
there,
up with your own
fellas.
personalized outro.
Yeah. All right. I got to do the actual, like, the thing. It's like, okay, so like, follow, subscribe, watch our streams. We're on Twitch. We stream every Wednesday now about.
Give us a rating.
Give us a rating, please. We love you. Give us your ratings. Please comment if you can. We're on YouTube. So give us a comment on YouTube if you feel so inclined. And yeah, gamers, message us what you might want us to talk about. Maybe we'll consider it. If you're that much of a gamer, if you're the Sigma male,
Prove yourself
we'll
a
consider
gamer
it.
to us.
All right, guys. Peace out. Have a good one. Have a great Easter.